Welcome to What the Biz, where we talk about building successful businesses, balancing life, and all the WTB in between. With your hosts,
I'm Bridget Vector.
And I'm Dan Prochko. Yeah, we're back. We're back. It's another week. We're back. It's a really bad rapping. That's really bad. That was really bad.
We never claimed to be rappers.
No, definitely not. That was not on the plan. It's not there. Don't have it. Welcome back, everybody, to What the Biz. Excited to be here with Bridget. How you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah.
We're in your favorite. I gotta say. So I noticed your flannel, right?
Yep.
I may have a flannel on today, but it's under this Columbia because like the blowing, blistery like chill that we're getting right now. I like all of a sudden went into this like, oh, it's winter hibernation. I love this time of year so that I can like double down on all my goals and like we're doing it. We're hitting it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about it today. The guilt came along with that. And I was like, oh, hit the brakes on the cool weather, exciting me for all this like powerhouse move into new goals thing.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to talk about this today because I think every business owner has come across this of like balancing, personal versus business life and feeling that guilt of like putting that extra time into the business to get that growth and feeling, that loss of like, oh, I lost time with family, with friends, with kids, and so it'll be cool to chat about it. We're not just chatting though. We've also got, some action steps at the end as always, because that's the kind of people we are. We're action oriented people that believe there's a way out of it. And so we'll share that toward the end as well. Before we jump into it though, what have you been up to? I mean, I guess keeping yourself warm. It sounds like that's a major piece.
Sure is. We've done a lot of QuickBooks reviews lately. So It is getting to that part of the year, right? Like 'tis the season. I think business owners are recognizing, hey, we're going to be going into beginning of the year tax season. So we have a lot of like cleanup work going on in our world right now.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's my favorite. Like
you've said that. Yeah.
Bring me all the cleanup.
We just completed 2 SEO audits for a client. It's like 2 clients, but it's the same people, if that makes sense. They own 2 businesses. So we did 2 SEO audits, and we're going to be working on some website projects for them. Really cool. Chiropractor and a salon. A lot of fun. And they're excited. Some of the stuff they were like, oh yeah, we knew that already. And it's just like, yeah, it's confirming those intuitions. And the other piece is we had, it's interesting when you come across like we had no idea that was even a thing, that we had to do that. What, and so it's cool to know that we're still experts in an area, it makes me feel good a little bit, but I'm excited for them. Yeah, they're built well. So, any kind of fuel to the growth fire for them is going to be really good. And SEO is a place where they have a lot, there's a lot of improvement for them in that realm. So that's exciting. Yeah.
I just love that.
It's kind of that year. Sorry, it's that time of year for us where we do get busier. Like right now, for some reason, Q4 right now is usually our busy period, and having these 2 projects like kick it off, bam, we're hitting it hard, right as we thought we would. So that feels good. But yeah.
Well, and I love that people like you exist, that know how to audit what is or is not working in SEO and have all the great game plans to make it better, because that's a really hard world. We need people like you.
Thanks. Yeah, we do. We definitely do. Well, and there's a lot of bad ones out there. Let me tell you, there's a lot of them that are like, I promise you the number 1 spot. And it's like, you got to run really fast if anybody is saying that, because that's impossible. So yeah, I mean, it's not impossible to reach number 1. It's impossible to promise it. That's the algorithm is no. You run away if you hear that. That's a scam artist right there. But you know what? Let's jump in today because, there's a thing nobody tells you about starting a business. The amount of time it's going to take, because it's not just money, I mean, we've kind of alluded to it. I mean, there've been missed dinners. I've like lost a lot of sleep. not called my parents back. I don't know about you on your end. You know, I don't know what you feel around this about being a business owner.
Yeah. So there was actually a post that kind of like stemmed this thought. However, I have this thought multiple times a week. But somebody actually wrote that they had a 100+ hour work week. And Dan, I know you and I were just kind of like, how does one?
Well, I was doing the math. Yeah, like a normal week is 40 hours. A double week is 80 hours. That means 16 hours a day for 5 days. That means a 100-hour week. They worked 16-hour days on Saturday and Sunday as well, pretty much. That's insane.
Yes. I would love to say that I've never done this. I can't say that. So when I think of a 100-hour work week being unrealistic, I have actually lived this before. And it's kind of crazy to think about, right? And I'm not that I want to ever live that again, but this is a reality of business owners. So maybe we're not working 100 hours, but a lot of business owners are working more than 50 hours in a week.
For sure.
And it's, you know, like you kind of alluded to it with the missed dinners and texts, and like I have kids, right? So it's kind of like I have the guilt of my kids going, "Oh, you're on your laptop," or, you know, like time I won't ever get back with them while I've been building my business. And it is definitely guilt that comes to us as business owners, right? But we certainly didn't start these businesses to neglect our own lives. Like I started mine for freedom, for my family, flexibility. And it kind of stole from that exact thing as
Isn't that crazy?
Growing.
It's, I don't know if that's ironic, coincidence, or just a catch-22, but it's true. I mean, you start it and then you don't necessarily become a slave to it. I mean, if you're good, you don't become a slave to it, but it's still, it just wants to creep slowly into taking time if you're not careful about it all. So, yeah.
Well, I think that's when the reality hits you, right? And what I hope we can unpack and give great tips for today. Like there is a guilt tax to being an entrepreneur. And there is a piece that we are always thinking of new ideas. It can cost us, but we need to kind of have a plan in place to not let it cost us. Like, let's not lose focus on why we did these things.
Yeah.
And maybe not let everybody else have the best of us and not let our families, you know, get what is left over. And really just get to a point where the business supports the life and we're not drowning in the business and neglecting everything else.
Yeah, so true. And for owners that are in like a building phase, a growth phase, or a scaling phase, it may feel impossible. You might tell yourself, like, if I just push a little harder, I'm going to get through this launch and get to the other side, land that one more client, and then my time's going to open up. You know, I'll tell you, the wave doesn't really ever stop. Like, I tell myself that all the time. Work fills the time allotted. Like that adage is so true. I've never had that not be true, you know. If I give myself 10 hours to do a project, it's going to take me 10 hours. If I give myself 2, it's going to take me 2, you know. So it doesn't matter where you're at in that phase. If we're not careful, it'll eat all your time, you know. It really is like running on a treadmill. It never really shuts off, you know. You're constantly chasing the finish line, but there is no finish line. We're living. It's a journey. We're getting there. And so I you know, for many that I've talked to, for me, myself, you know, I've had that guilt feel, you know, like, oh my God, I'm not with family. I'm not with friends. I'm just working all the time. And then the other guilt of, am I putting enough time in? Am I not? You know, it goes both ways. And so it can be difficult from time to time.
Oh, so true. And I think we all know what we lose along this way of the business journey, right? And I'm not talking numbers here that are financial based. I'm talking about like life numbers. Like how many dinners have you potentially missed? Or, I mean, I've said this a lot. Give me 5 minutes and I'll be done with this. Those 5 minutes always turn into hours.
An hour. It's horrible. Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad. And then it's like, oh yeah, Micah came and asked me for something like 3 days ago. And I totally forgot. Right.
Yeah. That happens all the time. Just yesterday, just
Cool.
yesterday, Jenny was like, I need to get out of the house. And I was like, you know what? Let me come with you. My client meetings are done at 2:30 and then we'll get out of the house. So 2:30 rolled around. That client meeting didn't end then. It ended at 3:30. And then after the client meeting was done, I had to do some emergency tasks. And it being 4:30, I go up real quick and I'm like, Jenny, I'm so sorry. I can't make it out. If you want to go somewhere, go. But it's already 2 hours after the point of when we were going to leave to just work outside the house. And oh man, it feels horrible. It's just like, where did it go?
Yeah, it's so bad. And I will say, like, the tips we're going to talk about later, I've gotten a lot better. I still have so much work to do in this arena. Like vacations, I can't tell you how many vacations weren't really vacations because the laptop was there and I was still doing something every day. I know you and Jenny have like a scale when it comes to your time away, like which we've talked about in an episode, but if you want to give a brief synopsis, I absolutely love this thought process. So
level 3 vacations.
Yes.
Yeah. Our 3-level vacations. So you've got like a level 1 vacation, which is like, no, I'm working while traveling. These are things like you have a funeral to go to and it's or something obligation type, and you have to leave, but you're still working. That's a level 1 because you're not in the office or in your normal workspace. Level 2 is it's like a half where it's just like you're working part day, but then you're disconnecting for other parts of the day. Or a level 2 is you're on vacation, but you're taking your stuff with you just in case. That's a level 2. Okay. It's one or the other. And then there's a level 3 vacation. And that is total disconnect. I'm leaving everything behind. And if there's a fire, there's a fire and there's nothing I can do about it. And it's okay. And you got to take those level 3s. You got to have a couple a year. Oh my God. Even if it's just a weekend, I'm not saying like full weeks, but you have to disconnect and be able to. We actually try to disconnect every weekend. Every Friday, Saturday, we're just not touching things unless it's an emergency. But yeah, so we have those 3 vacations.
I love it. Because I mean, ultimately, we as business owners, we sacrifice the sleep, our sanity, sometimes our relationships. And I will say, I don't think it's because we don't care. It's because we care too much in general. We have this thing to want to do everything right. So we over deliver probably to our customers and our clients and under deliver either at home or with friends and family.
I'd say it's tied to our identity. We've talked about this a lot, being like the owner, this visionary, always, wanting things to be high quality, perfectionist, so we want to be there for the business, but then we also want to be present for, our partners, our husbands, wives, parents, friends, kids. And so we want to do really well in all areas, and it's difficult to focus in everything.
Yeah. So is there a way to build a business without breaking?
I'd say you're going to have a breakdown at least once.
Maybe multiple times.
Maybe multiple, but you will figure this out. Well, hopefully we'll help you get through it faster here today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say for me personally, I have learned that my calendar is now my like go-to. So I think I always made fun of overscheduling on calendars until I really dove into being a business owner. And if my kids, my health, like having workout time, having like decompressing time, having date nights, maybe even putting like, hey, we got to go to the grocery store. If those don't hit my calendar, they don't become a priority. And I know it's silly and I always made fun of this, but it really has helped because it lets me create those boundaries and I feel a little less selfish, right? It really helps me to say, nope, this is important to me and I am scheduling the time to make sure this is important to me.
100%. I try and do the same thing. Jenny's always coming to me too. Like, I'm like, hey, we should go for dinner on this date or whatever. And she's immediately like, put it in the calendar. Cause she knows that I'm going to allow a phone call to go too long and then we'll never get anywhere. But more so, I love that last piece about saying no. And the boundaries is really the key. I mean, if you put it all in there and you see what you have to do, when things pop up and come at you, it's easier to be like, hey, what kind of an emergency or priority is this? You know, like, and to even just ask those questions or have that kind of mindset to be like, no, this can wait till Monday. I don't have to do this last minute on Friday, you know, or I've got a recital tonight for my niece or nephew. Like, no, I don't have to break my back for this. I get my time. I get with the family. So I love it for that, but it doesn't come without, you know, intentionality, you know? And so, if you look at my calendar now, I think most people would probably be like, what is going on here? Are these ancient hieroglyphics? There's so much going on. We got cuneiform, or what are we measuring? I don't know what we're measuring here. There's a lot on there. And it's on purpose. It's to make sure that, like you were saying, Bridget, there's a time for everything. Cause I am, like I've said already, a couple stories already, notorious to just go over just because I can, you know?
Yep. Or like, oh, I just want to get through this last like blog post that I'm working on. Let me just do this. And before you
3
do it,
hours
it's
later.
like 9 p.m. and everybody's like, are we eating today? Do we still eat dinner in this house? No, kids, you're living
I
on
know, right?
cereal again.
Oh man, sometimes you go along and then I go up, Jenny, have you had dinner yet? No, I've been waiting for you. We said we were gonna have dinner together. I'm just like, oh man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
been
think
there.
you mentioned this a little bit ago, and I think it's really important to just highlight. We as entrepreneurs sometimes tie our worth to our output. And this is where this like calendar thing can protect all of
Yeah.
that, right?
That's a good point. Yeah.
And I think it really just comes down to maybe detoxing a little bit from that and detoxing from the guilt that we associate with all of this all together. So
Yeah.
I say let's dive in. Let's dive
Let's
into
do it. Let's dive in. Yeah.
let's
I
dive into
teased we had an
tips.
action plan. Yeah. I teased we
Yeah.
had an action plan, some tips for help with this. So let's do it.
And I think we just need to make it practical, right? So we're going to call this the guilt detox plan. Because if you are a business owner saying that you don't feel guilty about time or what you're neglecting, I will call you a liar. I'm sorry. Like, I know darn well we all have guilt if we are entrepreneurs. So number one, do a time audit. Like, this was so eye-opening to me, and having actual time where I'm plugging in saying, like, I spent time for myself. I spent time with my family. And then everything else being work and clients. If you can see where your hours are actually going for a single week, you may be very, very surprised at how little time is going to the places that you're even building your business for, like family, friends, especially yourself, and how much is being poured into the business. The time audit can be one of the most eye-opening activities, I think, to exist.
Yeah. I think we talked about this in early episodes, actually, about prioritizing time, etc. I mean, the time audit exercise was hugely valuable for me. Basically, I literally wrote down on a sheet of paper everything I did for like 2 weeks straight. Just wrote it all down. How much time is going to everything? What do I actually have to do? And it's just eye-opening in terms of how much I can not do. That's the key piece that I'm getting at here. It's not about, you know, oh my God, I'm doing all this stuff all this time. No, it's like, oh my God, why am I doing these things? You know? Yeah.
Yeah. I put the so Toggl, it's TOGGL. They have a time tracking and you can put an app on your phone. So like while I was on the go, when I do these time audits, I will actually just kind of plug in like exactly what I'm doing. So if I'm not at my computer, I don't have an excuse for not doing the audit when I am committed to doing that for a week.
Very nice. It's a great tool. It's a wonderful tool.
Yep. Redefining enough. So this is the second part of this detox plan. And I know we've talked about in some other episodes, when is enough enough? This is true. Like, what is enough income? I can't tell you how many business owners we work with or we come in contact with that really don't know what they need personally to make from their business to survive personally. So they kind of just have like this huge unknown area and they're just chasing the next income level. I think there's a lot of pressure to do that, right? Like, oh, I've got to make 6 figures. I got to get to mid 6. I got to get to 7. But what is enough? Like, when would you be comfortable personally? Like, what is enough clients or customers? How many hours is enough? Do you really want to be working 40? Maybe you only want to work 20 hours a week. And I think defining this and having it written down where you can try to stick to it will be very beneficial of like getting away from, I guess, overworking or trying to overcommit yourself.
I mean, at the very least, it also just allows you to create and see the path of how you get there and break it down into, do I have to spend 100-hour weeks, to even get there? The answer is usually no, actually, it's probably always no. And by seeing that, you can actually start carving out that time, because you'll have that game plan, that roadmap of, oh, to get there, it's actually going to take me this much, and I only have to do this much all the time. So yeah, done. Great. I can keep my sanity.
Yeah. So number 3 goes back to the scheduling calendar, plugging it in somewhere. Schedule those non-negotiables first. Maybe it's family dinners. Maybe it's date night. Maybe it's your workouts. Maybe it's the kid events. Block this time off before client meetings, before the things that you don't have to do. I will never tell you to neglect client or customer work, but block these things off so you can plan your days around them. You mentioned it, Dan, like if it doesn't get on the calendar, you know that it isn't going to happen. So make that happen. And then you can kind of back into, okay, what do I have left to actually do the work that I need to do for my business?
Yeah, we do this all the time. Every weekend we sit down. It's like, okay, what's coming up? What's got to get scheduled? Put it on there. My workouts are on the calendar, like exactly what you said. And to what I said, I can't say it enough. It's work fills the time allotted. So if you don't give yourself a ton of time, you can't use a ton of time. If you have a deadline or something you got to be at, you have to finish by that time. Done. And like, yes, what comes with this is discipline. You have to respect it. If you don't respect it, you're going to lose family. It's not just that we're going to lose sanity. We damage relationships. And, I've been there, and it's like, no, I had to make a change, and I had to start respecting the calendar, appointments, etc. And life gets great. Life gets wonderful.
Yeah. So number 4, automate or delegate just one task. I'm not asking for the world here. But if you did that time audit that we talked about in number 1, you likely found multiple things that you're doing that you should no longer be doing. If you are doing something that could be like a $10 per hour task and you're the business owner, you are robbing yourself of valuable time. And I want you to delegate. One of our clients actually started doing scheduled grocery pickup because she realized like that was something just taking time, like time from her family. So she will like literally build the list, have it set, they put it in the car. I know this is really common. A lot of people don't use it. It's like use those simple things to save yourself time, and what you can delegate. And I know there's probably listeners saying, I don't have anybody to delegate it to. I don't have any staff. Find those things that you can hire a VA to do. Video it.
Yeah.
I love Loom, right? Screen record yourself doing it. Boom, you have an SOP. Get those things off your plate.
I get a lot of Looms from Bridget all the time about accounting, bookkeeping things. She loves it.
Everybody that gets them loves them too, though.
Oh, no, I absolutely love it. Oh, my God, it simplifies things so much. Yeah, hiring VAs are great. They're way less expensive than you think. But 2, if you can automate, using If This Then That or Zapier, or maybe 2 platforms connect automatically and you can automate certain tasks, just do it. Get those built out. If you need to talk to somebody, go for it. We've helped tons of clients with automation, and it really does free up time. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, it goes a long way.
Yeah. And lastly, create a no list. Dan, you said it about saying no. I think when a a business owner or a CEO can start saying no, it's one of the most powerful moves that we have. No is okay. Write those things down that you will no longer do or be available for. I did this for a while and I had a sticky note on my screen like, no, I will not answer that email at 8 p.m. Or no, I'm not going to look at texts that come in late to the business line. Or like, I'm not going to do weekend work. I'm not going to give up evenings with the family. And actually, it's really funny because I went back to this and was like, okay, I am not working past certain times at night. Right now I said 6:30 is like a no more cutoff for me. And we have been doing family game night almost every night since I
That's
started doing
awesome.
that. And
That's
it's
awesome.
so fun.
That's
So
cool.
fun.
That's a
Like we
lot
have
of
a
fun.
never-ending game of Monopoly going right now. 'Cause
Oh, what a
that's what
horrible game.
Monopoly
But
is. But
yeah, it's yeah. But awesome memory, but that's an awesome memory. Yeah. I think
yes.
the key thing to remember, like I love these 5 points, all things that I come back to all the time, which is why I love that we put this together. It's not about perfection. You know, I find that I fail on one of these 5 points all the time. The idea is just you come back to it every so often, you reevaluate. I mean, we call this like a detox. It's not a one-time thing. I go through this over and over again throughout the year. You know, I might do it 3-4 times or more, you know, throughout the year, you know, checking out what's going on, you know, because the point here is, you know, we said at the beginning, and me and Bridget, we've said it before, is like, we built these to find our own freedom. You have to build that. It doesn't just happen because we have our own businesses, because like we're talking about today, that guilt about the scope creep, the time creep, the dropping things. We have to build the business that lets us live the life we want to live. And so don't think that you're going to get this right the first time. You're just going to do it over and over again. It's a process.
I love that you said that because just because you solve this once, it does always creep back in. Like it's just going to happen. So revisiting this, I do it all the time too. I mentioned the toggle, right? I do time audits frequently throughout the year because I can tell when I'm starting to feel guilty again, or when I'm starting to feel like I'm sacrificing things I shouldn't be sacrificing. Number one thing I do is come back to this 5 list. So 1, the time audit. 2, redefining what enough is. 3, scheduling those non-negotiables first on my calendar. 4, automating or delegating one thing that I've run into that I shouldn't be doing again. And then 5, recreating or creating a new no list and sticking to it.
Love it. I think that's a great place to kind of end it here today. That was super valuable. And we'd love to hear from you. So have you had a moment? Actually, we have a new segment. I don't know why I'm ending so early. This is so new. We've not done this yet. I'm not used to this. Oh man, you know what we're going to hit? We're going to do our What the Biz moment of the week. Okay, so this is totally new. We've not done this before. So we're each going to share a moment of something we've experienced in the wild about a business. This could be marketing, operations. It could be something about delight. It could be a failure, you know, an utter failure, something that we don't think went really, really well. And we're going to share it with some insight from our own end and how it could have been better. And we'll go from there. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
You'll let me go first?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I have my What the Biz moment was a support call with my internet company. Okay. I was in the middle of an outage. Okay. But I wasn't sure if it was an outage. So I got onto the support chat. Okay. This is a failure, by the way. I'm just going to say this. This is a failure. Okay. This isn't a win. This is a fail. Okay. And no, not all mine are failures. I do have wins I'm going to talk about in future episodes. But so to start this support chat, I had to fill out a form. And that form asked me for things like my name, my phone number, my contract address, and why I'm contacting them. So cool, submit that. Then comes the chat person, then comes the support person, and they go, hey, how can I help you? And I'm like, I just told you in the form. And they're like, oh, I don't get to see any of that. I don't know what you wrote. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like in my brain, I'm just like, are you kidding me? So I gave you that information for what? So somebody in a back room can do some analysis of why people are contacting, but you, the support rep who's going to be helping me, doesn't get the information to make my experience better. And you're telling me to give you the exact same info. They asked me for my name, my contract address, my email, and why they have me give the exact same information. And I'm just like, what a waste of time. This is a horrible experience.
So doesn't it make you wonder, and you say, where does that form really go to then? Like, what little background gremlins are getting that form that really could have helped this customer service rep, but now I'm frustrated because I just repeated things again.
I mean, in my brain, I'm guessing that initial form was to prevent people who are just abusing the system from abusing it. I bet that's part of it. But you have, I mean, my point is like, great, that's fine. It can still do that. It should just be passed on to the person who's actually going to be helping me, because then I don't have to input double information, and they can actually send me an initial message that is empathetic or aware or acknowledging of what's going on. Like it takes that relationship to a totally different level. I have a survey that I send all my clients every month before my client meetings. And from that, I prepare what the meeting is going to entail, the agenda, how I speak to them. Are they feeling stressed? Are they excited? Did we have good results? Did we have, average results, et cetera? That changes how we interact. And it makes for an amazing meeting because we do real work. But here I'm giving you everything to succeed. And then you're just saying, oh yeah, can you tell me everything again? I wasn't listening. Horrible.
Take two.
So basically, look, if you're going to use a form, make sure you actually use it. Like, use it. There we go. That's my moment of the week.
I love it. So my moment of the week is actually going to be a win, and this is unique. So I know that there's a world where people have new products and they try to get people to review those new products. We have never been like specifically part of that for a local business, right? So this business is a husband and wife business. And I think it's really cool how like we kind of got brought into this through the grapevine. But they created these soaps. So let me back up here for a second. My husband loves fishing. Like, I think if he could live on his boat, he probably would live on his boat. And so somebody thought of him when this product came up, and it's a soap to take the fish smell like kind of off from you. So if you're like fishing and touching fish all the time, yes, you stink.
Yeah.
Like there is a distinct
that
smell
oil
that
sticks
comes
around.
back. Yes.
Yeah.
So they reached out. They actually were able to reach out via text, which I thought was even better. But they like gave this whole story about this idea for their company came to them as they were like in the car. I should have looked this up, but it's like a doc story, right? Where they were traveling to go fishing with family once a year. And so they just kind of came up with this thought and developed this very specialized soap that they made together as a husband and wife team. And now they're reaching out for honest reviews from people that would actually use it, gave their whole story in the text, and was like, if you buy it, we'll reimburse you. We just ask that you give like a really honest review. And I just think it's so smart. And I do believe this is something that local companies might overlook, that they could do that, right? Like they could reach out to get these reviews, and knowing your target audience to find who is going to be ideal to get this in front of. I think they landed a jackpot with like landing in front of my husband because he loves to tournament fish. So now he's going to send this to all of his tournament fishing
there you go.
buddies. And it just came from a random friend that was like, I don't know anybody else that fishes except for James. And now they tapped into a market of a lot of fishermen. So
this is a really cool, it's a really cool win. This is a tactic that manufacturers have used for a while now with Amazon, but like bigger companies or Chinese, manufacturers. I think in the news it said, they sent out random stuff all over the place, really just hoping to get a review, etc. But it's so true because what local companies can get out of this is your local influencers, or if you but even if it's not local, if like soap, anybody could buy it. To your point, your husband does fishing, going to be around the smell, knows other fishers, fishermen. So it's like, yeah, that makes total sense. Can we as a local company create a campaign to put our product in front of people who will use it, get them to review it? And then because you've given them something for free and a neat experience, you may even get an evangelist out of it. And just like you said, your husband's going to share it with all of his friends. Like, it's a great tactic. Yeah.
Yeah. And you nailed
Wonderful.
it. Like big companies do it. I don't know that all the smaller companies think about it or take advantage of it. So
yeah,
great win on their behalf.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like local business. You don't have to have a product. You could be a restaurant and invite people in for free amuse bouche, just to, try some things, or come in for I don't know, maybe you're a candle making company, come and make a free candle, experience it, document it and put it out there. Because how much does that really cost in product and cost of product, to offer that? Very little, candy company, if you're a local candy shop, can you get, maybe a kids day where, I don't know, certain things are free or whatever, but you're videotaping the whole thing and giving parents little review cards, there's so many things that you can do in this way to reach out to get those reviews that then also create evangelists, because it's about the experience, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
Well, that's the first What the Biz moment of the week. I hope you liked it. Tell us if we should do more. Do you have a moment of the week? Let us know in a review. Wherever you're listening, leave us one of those. And if you've got an idea for a future episode, check us out at whatthebiz.com. But with that, you know what? We'll see you in the next one.